they played teams that I think they underestimated. Guys who were not NBA players, they respected them, the NBA players, but the ones who aren't in the NBA, they didn't know about. So that kid, the dude 42 from Germany went off on him, hit that big three. I didn't get a chance to watch the Canada game, but you let Dylan Brooks go for 39. Like, it's a pride thing. And I think once, and then I watched the Lithuania game, and Lithuania hit a lot of big shots. And it's just like, these teams are game planning. They're not afraid of the United States anymore, especially. They're not afraid of Austin Reeves and Brandon Ingram. They're not afraid of those guys.
The A-List Podcast is brought to you by FanDuel, the exclusive wagering partner of the CLNS Media Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the A-List Podcast. I am Kwani Lunis, Sherrod Blakely, Gary Washburn. They're all here. I want to talk about Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum being respectively Cape Haitian and Cape Verdean, but we will not derail. Gary's face is so confused. I am maybe.
Why is she throwing that bomb out there and just walking away?
Don't do that, Kwani.
I'm chronically on the internet. So, okay, only reason I'm going on this little rant is because some people that listen are actually millennials like myself that understand this. But
why she got to put her finger into it, Gary? Why can't she just speak? She's like,
I know, like, what's up with that? But go ahead. Like,
there
what
are
is
some
theory?
people in Black Boston Twitter that have adopted Jaylen Brown into the Haitian community. And respectively, Jason Tatum has also been adopted by the Cape Verdeans. Very big populations here in Massachusetts. Yes. And I think it actually plays very well. So I just needed to use my platform to make sure that I wanted to say, I see you guys and I agree with you. I do think that this should be a thing.
I don't even know what this being a thing means.
I don't know. It's just them being adopted by the community.
What that mean?
For the record. So, like, we'll take Jaylen Brown into the community.
Does that get them some like discounts or something? That
no, it's just like, there's always a connection. Like someone that you could, like you, Gary, love being from California. Now you're in the ACC. You're Cal Berkeley. Sherrod, you love being from Syracuse, even though it's a terrible school. Like everyone takes pride in things that make you get a connection. So I think for the people that
and you connect with BC because what exactly is BC?
Yikes. I really just threw myself under the bus with that one.
You did.
But I just wanted to address the internet because the internet.
They're your friends.
On a record, yes, very much my friends. But on a serious note, now that I got that off my chest, we can talk about some basketball. First of all, as you both know, the Paris Olympics are slowly creeping up. But before we get to the context of that, Team USA embarrassed us in front on a world stage at FIBA. Germany ends up winning, 2 former Celtics on that team, which apparently prompted LeBron James to call the Avengers and unite the team now.
Wonder Twin Powers?
Exactly. To go to Paris. And is a whole, I don't know if you guys want to get into the commentary of whether or not the NBA players are the best in the world. I know you guys saw the trolling behind that. But first of all, just FIBA itself, what do you make of the fact that the Team USA obviously didn't send the best of the best from the US for that game, for that whole entire series, but now Germany is the winner and we're kind of playing catch up when you think about the way USA basketball is being portrayed?
Well, it's consistent with what we do and what we've been doing for a number of years. We treat the FIBA World Cup as if it's like, the consolation JV game, and the Olympics is the varsity, and we bring out the varsity players. You look at the players playing for Canada, playing for Germany. Those players are not just really good, they're like the best that country has to offer. Like if you start going down the Rolodex of players in Germany and you look at Dennis Schroeder, he's probably at or near the top of that list, certainly in top 3, top 4. You look at the Team USA, I don't know if there's a single player that was on that Team USA team that just got smoked that you put in your top 10.
Nope.
And to me, that's the difference. You are facing the world's best players in their respective countries against your B team. Maybe your B minus team, if you're keeping it 100. I mean, on that Team USA, I think Anthony Edwards might be the only guy, maybe Austin Reeves might be the only guys that you could see making the top 12. Because Anthony will probably be in a rotation coming off the bench. Reeves probably wouldn't play. And he can play. He can absolutely ball. So to me, it's not surprising that they go out there and get smoked because they're not bringing in their guys who can bring the heat. But LeBron, as only LeBron will do, will just like, fellas.
Let's do our country a service.
Let's do our thing. I really don't want to see him in the next Olympics. I don't. It's like, thank you for your service. Yeah. We are appreciative. Now, to paraphrase what he told his mama back in the day, sit your ass down. That's what I feel about LeBron right now in the Olympics. Let these other cats ball.
To that point, though, that has been the commentary, even with the W players, when you think about the opportunity that it's a once in a lifetime for some. Obviously, a player like LeBron or KD, they'll get maybe 2 or 3 opportunities in their lifetime. But do you think the onus is on him to kind of bow out, which he wouldn't do, to bow out and say, let me, let the next man up take the opportunity?
Nah, ego won't let him.
But that's the league wouldn't let him.
No, his ego wouldn't let him just bow. When he sees how they struggle, LeBron, he low-key has a Superman complex.
Of course.
Wants to come and save the day. Our poor,
the humble,
wayward.
You're poor, you're humble, you're
humble. Austin, listen. You tried, young fella. You tried. Good try. Let Big Daddy handle this. I got this. Hey, Tatum, you. All right, super friends. Let's go. We got this. We'll be back by dinner time with the gold medal. So you don't wait up. We'll be back though. We'll be back. It's a LeBron production waiting to be produced. And I'm curious what Gary's thoughts are though on your boy LeBron.
Well, I think that LeBron wants to play kind of a Kobe role that Kobe had in the 08 Redeem team. I think I don't see LeBron out there playing, it's a 40-minute game, out there playing 33 minutes a night against, Montenegro. I think he'll play kind of a old man, just chill. Like, remember Jason Kidd played in the 12 team, like, and Kobe in the 08 team, just being like the old head emeritus and him saying, because let's be honest, you're not going to get Curry, Durant, Tatum, Chris Paul without the other guys, right? So I think LeBron takes the role of, hey, I'm just going to get these guys together. We're going to put our best team out there, smoke these fools, and then come back with the gold medal. Because I think, unfortunately for this team, it wasn't put together well. They expected a lot out of particular players who did not perform. Jaren Jackson Jr. couldn't stay out of foul trouble. Brandon Ingram was useless. Jalen Brunson is not a point guard. He's a 2 guard, and the USA threw him in as a starting point guard, where they probably should have started Halliburton from Indiana. And then, Kerr refused to play a big lineup. So they got constantly pounded and out rebounded. And then they played teams that I think they underestimated, guys who were not NBA players. They respected them, the NBA players, but the ones who aren't in the NBA, they didn't know about. So that kid, the dude 42 from Germany, went off on him, hit that big 3. I didn't get a chance to watch the Canada game, but you let Dylan Brooks go for 39. Like, it's a pride thing. And I think once, and then I watched the Lithuania game, and Lithuania hit a lot of big shots. And it's just like, these teams are game planning. They're not afraid of the United States anymore, especially. They're not afraid of Austin Reeves and Brandon Ingram. They're not afraid of those guys. They might be a little afraid of Tatum and Brown and Durant and Curry and all. Yeah, that's going to cause some issues, right? But this team, they weren't afraid of them. And I think they were poorly coached. And despite the fact that the coaching staff was Steve Kerr, Tyronn Lue, Eric Spoelstra, and Mark Few. I mean, it's staggering the amount of great coaches they had in that staff, and they weren't well coached. I mean, they inbounds plays, they didn't even defend two plays against Germany. One, they threw it in the 3 seconds left in the clock. He threw it into Wagner, 1-on-1, hits a 15-footer. A few minutes later in the key stretch, Daniel Theis, our friend, catches.
My dude.
Yeah, gets an open 15-footer, and Daniel Theis looked like You know,
Daniel Theis.
he was like Dirk Nowitzki in the damn game. It was like, we ain't seen that Theis ever. Yeah. But he hits a pull-up 15-footer with 4 seconds up. No one guarded him. Like,
it was giving pro-am.
Yeah, like, big plays.
Yeah.
Big plays and just like terrible defense. So do they need their best players? And then I just think there was guys who weren't on that team. John Morant. Now, do you invite him given all the trouble he's been in? Trae Young still ain't played. Like, there's dudes who would probably like, I would have played, but y'all didn't holler at me. You know, why not Trae Young? You know, some of those guys, you know, Brandon Ingram just doesn't seem like he was into it. It was just like he wasn't starting. Anthony Edwards, great player, took a lot of bad shots.
Get ready for the NFL season with incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets. Guaranteed. That's guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. It absolutely is. The app is easy to use, and you can be on everything from spreads to player props and more. So visit FanDuel.com/Boston. Kick off the NFL season with an offer you won't want to miss. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Took a lot of hero ball shots because he was just like, I'm the man on this team.
He was a hero, yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to be Kobe. I'm, you know, 3-3-3. You know, it's like they never got a knockdown 3-point shooter. I guess Cameron Johnson never really developed into that guy. So it was a really not Grant Hill's best job. Hopefully he'll do better compiling a team. And I get it. It's 3 weeks or a month commitment. You got to go to the Philippines. You're missing, you know, a good chunk of your summer. So it's some guys just gonna be, nah, man, I want to be my kids. I want to travel. I got a trip planned here. I am not committing that for no World Cup. Like, nah. It takes us getting embarrassed for some of these guys to be like, all right. Remember the 19 team with Kemba and Marcus Smart? That team finished 7th.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, this is nothing new. And in those teams, other teams played harder. Mm-hmm. But for LeBron, I don't blame him for doing this. I think everybody knows, okay, we're going to have to bring our best guys. Are y'all down? And then it's Paris. It's a great city. You know, Japan was hard sell for some folks because it was right after the pandemic. There was a lot of limitations. There'll be no limitations. It's Paris. And then let's be honest, the French are going to be loaded with probably Wembayama. They're going to be, you know, axe to grind. Canada's going to be there.
Kwani A on that French team.
Yeah, Germany, Serbia. Like, you know, there's going to be some teams that are like looking to get at the United States. So it's going to be a competitive tournament. So if I'm LeBron, I have no problem with him trying to get the guys together. But I don't think it's like, okay, I'm the star and all y'all go. Like, I think he might play that kind of like advisory, like old man role. Like, I'll come in and help when it counts. Like Kobe did in 08.
Yeah.
I just think that one of the big concerns I have is that Grant Hill, LeBron James, whoever you think is putting the next team together, is going to take this fantasy league mentality and putting together, taking like, he's a really good player. Because I think this FIBA team, from a fantasy league standpoint, they should have smoked the competition. You got scorers, you got guys who are athletic. But to your point, Gary, you got some players that have the kind of flaws that get exposed in these type of international competitions. Like Jaren Jackson, the defensive player of the year. He's a foul magnet. He's one of the NBA's leaders in fouls per minute played. He's a good player when he's on the floor, but the problem is he doesn't keep himself on the floor. And you look at a lot of the fouls he commits, they're stupid fouls. They're just being out of position, being lazy, trying to make plays when all you need to do is make your presence felt. You don't need to make the play. He's horrible at that. And that's a guy that this team was counting on, which, again, that's a little scary. The other thing, too, and this is just me, but I'm not a big fan of Steve Kerr as a coach of this team. I'm not at all. I would rather see Spoelstra coaching his team. I'd rather see a guy who has a track record of team building on the fly at the highest levels. He's way better at that than Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr got handed, what, 3-4 Hall of Famers in like a 4-year period? It's kind of hard to screw that up. I give Steve credit for not screwing it up, but it's not that hard to win when it's a game that's played with 10 players at a time, and 4 of the top 6 are on your team. That you're gonna win more than you're not. You look at the teams that Eric Spoelstra has been put together. He's won with some pretty mediocre teams. The Celtics know that firsthand. You look at that roster that sent them home. There's no way to hell you should lose a series to them fools. But they played better, and a lot of the keys to their success lie in Spoelstra. So that, to me, their team, they were flawed on 2 fronts: coach, their leadership, and the way they're put together. It's just too fantasy league friendly. You need guys who can play, not guys who put up stats.
But all of that to say that now that the way everything has played out, no allows calling out NBA players saying that, the champs are the best in the world, and then FIBA, losing the FIBA tournament. I'm just kind of concerned about Paris. I know that sounds dramatic because they are going to still send the best players in the world, but I think, that being said, these other countries, we already know that people think the U.S. we're pretentious, and there's all these stereotypes about who Americans are. But I feel like the other teams are going to come hungrier than they probably have ever come before, just in light of the events of the past few weeks. I could be wrong, but what do you two think?
I think it's going to be totally a tough tournament. France is going to have something to say. Germany feels like they can beat them. Canada is going to be there. And then Serbia is always tricky team, always a good quality club. And then, you got to, Australia has had their star power. We'll see what they do.
Don't forget about Canada.
There's going to be 4, and there's 4 more open spots for the qualifying. So who knows whether it might be Italy or Montenegro or Lithuania. One of those teams are probably going to qualify. It'll be another tough out, right? Because you got 4 more spots open. I think you got a South American, because we have not heard anything from Argentina, what kind of team they're going to field. They've always been, they beat the United States almost 20 years ago.
Australia doing, yeah.
Australia's in there, so there's 4 more spots open for qualifying over into next year. So I think, these teams are not afraid of the United States, but also the United States isn't respecting the World Cup. I know Jerry Colangelo really tried to get teams, and then you get young, hungry players who want to invest the time. Like Jalen Brunson postponed or got married 2 months early so he could play. Like some of these guys brought their families, newborn kids, and things like that because you're asking these guys very knocking on the door of the NBA season to commit 3 to 4 weeks and you're not going to be in the United States. You're going to be in Philippines. That's not attractive to some of these guys, right? But there is a load of NBA players that you could have probably brought. You could have brought Ja. You could have, you got to figure out, should you have asked Zion Williamson if he was healthy? Like, there's a bunch of guys who will play on this team. I don't know, and I just think that this is another thing where it becomes an opportunity, and some of these guys aren't ready. Paolo Banchero, should he have been on that team? Walker Kessler, should he have been on that team? And as much as I like Austin Reeves, he was a defensive liability, but he, I'm saying Cam Johnson, like some of these guys are good NBA players, but they're not stars. Some of them will never be all stars.
Yeah.
So you're throwing them out there against teams who have played together for 15 years since they were in youth leagues. Germany, those all these guys all know each other. Like they've played together for. It's insulting if they don't play for their national team.
Mm-hmm. So
they play, and then who knows what happened with Dominican Republic almost qualified. They got Karl Anthony Towns. He played this year. Like there's going to be players, like this is a big deal. So they need to organize a team now. They need to start getting commitments. It's less than a year away. It's in late July, so they got to make some stuff happen. And is I would assume Jason will be interested in going. I think he loved the experience of winning a gold medal. He's the second best player in that team in Japan. Jalen didn't get a chance to go because of his wrist surgery. He didn't. So, and somebody tweeted, I think it was Rudy Gay, like, hey man, y'all need to start having tryouts again. Y'all need to go at each.
Yeah,
he was like, y'all gotta quit handing out certificates to this thing. Y'all gotta start bringing in 30 guys for 12 spots and going at each other. And maybe that's the solution to the problem.
I think it is, Gary. Because I mean, you think back to almost every Olympic team from like basically 80, 92 going backwards. There was a competition where someone emerged that we had never heard of. Like some dude named Dan Marley from freaking Central Michigan back in the day. No one knew who the hell he was until he started dunking on fools left and right at the Olympic trials. The next thing you know, he's an Olympian and he's an NBA player who, if it wasn't for an opportunity to try out and compete against the best, we don't know how good he would have been. U.S. needs to get back to that. You need to create competition and stop in this good try, good effort, you're on a team stuff. I don't care what you did in the 82-game season on that team that was 24-58. It don't matter. What can you do when you are you got to go the way you do AAU. When you go against the best players all day, multiple days, and typically that's where the top 5, top 10 stand out. The next top 10 come out. And so then you get a clear indicator of what type of talent you're dealing with, how that talent works with each other. And basically you get a better understanding of what you need to do to put together a team that can win. Because you can put together good players easily. Anyone can do that. But can you put together a team? Can you put together 10, 15 cats who can ball out as a team and not just ball out and get their stats? That's what they need to get back to doing, because that ain't happening now. Guys just showed up and they just said, on the team, yup, okay.
Yeah.
Boom.
Like,
I mean, come on.
Nowhere else in life does that work that way. So I'm with you too.
No.
But we were talking about Germany. Two of our former friends of the city, Theis and Schroeder, showed out for their team. Would you want to see either of them back here in Boston?
Gary's like, hell no. That's what that look was for, Kwani. You saw it, right?
Schroeder.
He was like,
Schroeder was not his friend.
Gary went all Bobby Portis on us right there. You see that?
Not Bobby Portis. That's good.
Listen.
Yo, not Bobby catching straight.
I love VP. And Bobby was balling out, by the way.
True.
He was balling out a little bit. No, I don't think either one of those guys would be a good fit now. Theis, I just don't think has anything to offer that you could really benefit from over any extended period of time. And Schroeder, I just think that ship sailed. I just think that when a cat leaves the kind of dough on the table that he did, you sign him for basically like just a sliver of that, and you still trade him in midseason. There's something not quite right. There's a fit that you don't see happening there. And the fact that, his coach at the time, Brad Stevens, is now the GM.
He would easily have made that call.
Yeah, you ain't coming back. So, and Dennis is a good player. I think he showed a lot of people that he's not just a good basketball player. He can actually lead a team.
Ever wish you could navigate the betting field with the confidence of a pro? Enter OddsR. They're not a sports book, but they're the sports betting advisor you always needed. It's like having a playbook for smarter bets right in your pocket. I've been absolutely loving the experience, and I think you will too, especially since Celtics All Access listeners get a 30-day free trial. Elevate your game day and join the smart betting revolution. Go get it at oddsr.com/Celtics. That's oddsr.com/Celtics.
All right, well, moving on. The NBA 2K ratings are officially out. I don't know how much stock you two take into them. They just seem like social media conversation starters. But for those who didn't get a chance to look at them, Tatum is a 95, Brown is an 89, Porzingis a few points behind him with 86. Brogdon's pretty high up there with 83, and Horford, White, and Williams all have 82 scores in NBA 2K. What are your reactions? What does this mean for the 18th banner?
I got my thoughts, but I really want to hear what Gary Washburn thinks about this. That's what I want to know.
I don't know, man. I don't know
man.
I don't
who
know.
judges these.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Who judges these things? I guess the players get into that. Like I know the NFL players really get into their rating and are be insulted or be, thinking that's too low. But I just want to see what this team does on the court. Let's see what happens with Malcolm Brogdon, whether he's healthy. It's a couple of weeks before media day, before camp kicks off, right? And there's still a lot of things we don't know about this team that is being kept quiet, or we'll see what happens if anything gets done before, the whole training camp thing kicks off. There's a couple free agents out there, things like that. But I'm not bold over. Obviously, Tatum's their best player. He should be a 95. I'm sure he's trying why am I not a 99? I don't know who is a 99. Is it Giannis? Is it Jokic? So I'm sure I'd be intrigued to see their scores, their ratings. What is LeBron? But I think it's a good start. And in Brown, yeah, B plus 89. A lot of things he can work on to become that A plus player. So I'm not insulted. I think the ratings are fine. Sounds okay. We'll see if they can live up to those ratings.
Luka, Jokic, and LeBron are all 97. That's the highest.
Wow.
From last. Oh, that's earlier in April though. This year, Giannis is 97 at the highest. Steph 96. Jokic 96. Durant 96 as well. That was such a PR answer though. That's why I was laughing the whole time. You really just was like, I'm focused on the season.
Yeah,
I'm just here not to get fined.
Right.
I don't play 2K. I'm not into this 2K phase.
I found out you went to high school with Nia, and I know you went to school with Marshawn, so you just
I did not go to school with Marshawn. I went to college.
No, you grew up from the same neighborhood or
yeah. I went to college with Sanaa Lathan. Yes.
Wait,
and
what?
High school would be along.
Every 2 seconds I learned something.
Everybody knew this.
Anybody else?
Not the scoop.
You went to law school with Barack Obama?
What about Brenda?
Huh?
Ooh, Brenda.
Oh yeah, Regina King also went to high school. Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You're done.
Yes.
What? I have trust issues now.
Regina King ran track at Westchester High School. Yes. Yep. What? So.
Wow.
I wish I went to Westchester High School just for
a lot of people did because it was Westchester had a lot going on. Westchester had a lot going on. I was not privy to those things. I was not
arts kid.
Yeah, I was into books.
Yeah, I was not a popular kid in high school. I was kind of in the middle, but yeah,
it's okay. You're popular now.
Yeah, we had actors, actresses. Tim Story, who directed the first Barbershop, went to Westchester. Like, there's a lot of people a lot of very stars. People have done great things. So
I have 1 degree of separation to all of these stars now.
And obviously Berkeley, So, but I had an Afro American Studies class with Sanaa Lathan during my final year of school. So yeah,
we all friends.
We talked. We were like classmates. It wasn't like we was homies. No.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
I got so much to say, Kwani, that we just don't got enough time for me to say all I got to say.
We don't have time.
You had Tay Diggs, right? That was your
Tay Diggs.
I went to college with Tay Diggs. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my dude.
I have no one. I don't think I
got Tay Diggs. I got dude named Dorsey Levis, who was all pro running back at Green Bay Packers. Come on now.
I have Luke Kuechly. Does that count?
I got
Luke Kuechly.
Oh yeah, the linebacker.
Yeah,
that's very good.
I thought she was going to say Bill Curley.
No, a little before me.
Reggie Jackson.
Reggie,
I missed Reggie by a lot of years.
Yeah, BC doesn't seem to,
We don't have that much going on. We had Justin Simmons, who plays for the Broncos now. These are all like defensive players. Yeah, that we don't have famous people. That I went to school with at least. One day.
They got you,
One day
Kwani.
I'll be the famous person.
That's you.
There you go. They got you, Kwani.
The most famous person I know. That's so sad. Anyway, thanks for sharing that, Gary. Wow, he's opening up to us. He likes us.
I didn't think that was like I've told people that before. I don't like it's not
broadcast it.
Yeah, it's not a conversation starter, but yeah, like it's a long time ago, but yeah, like if you look at my yearbook, Nia's in it.
Oh, that's cool.
And then, so that's a long time ago. But yeah, Los Angeles produced a lot of pretty amazing people. So
I'm trying to see a yearbook. I can't.
I'd have to find my yearbook. Maybe I'll bring it. It's at home. It's around here somewhere.
Let me know when you're ready to start looking for it, Gary. I'll help.
Yeah, I don't look for it. I don't look to my yearbook very often, so I'd have to find. It might even be my mama's house. I don't know. It might be here. I think it's somewhere here.
Let me call her up and see. I
can check. Call my mom up and see.
This is what happens when you share stuff like that. I get it. I get why you don't share it often. Understood.
But
understood.
Yeah, that's the story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, well,
good idea.
That's all I got. I mean, our guy Bobby Manning, he reported the Celtics signed Taylor Funk from Utah on a 10-day. That's not really
Exhibit 10.
Yeah, oh, sorry.
Exhibit 10 contract.
Oh, yeah, you're right. This is a training camp invite.
Which, I mean, I got one too, so I'm also gonna be exhibiting my skills. I'm kidding. Sorry, no offense to Taylor Funk, but that's not really breaking news. That's just more of a little nugget for y'all to take home and chew on.
Yeah, they got I think 21 players can come to camp, so they'll have they'll have guys. Right. They'll have their share guys in there. Our friend Jay Scrub and JD Davidson. They'll have those guys in there. So it should be an interesting camp.
Quite literal exhibit.
Yeah, I do think they need one more player, but they need to add somebody. But we'll see what happens in the next few weeks. But it's their year, I think. I mean, honestly, people keep asking, what do you think? If there's a year for them to do it, this is it.
The window.
Yeah.
I mean, the window is here, and it's going to be hard. I mean, the Lakers are loaded, but the East, Philadelphia got problems. Brooklyn's not quite there. Milwaukee, Giannis just said he don't know if he's going to extend. He wants to see the future of the team, and they got a first-year coach. Miami has done nothing this offseason. They lost Gabe Vincent. They lost Max Strus.
Chilling.
I think they brought in like Thomas Robinson, brought in a couple of smaller guys. But if the Celtics,
Charlotte is a hot mess.
Yeah. Oh, what? Can you explain that, Kwani? Can you explain that whole thing with Kai Jones? What he was saying?
Oh, so that one. Okay, so I knew he was Bahamian. That's people from Bahamas. But when I saw the video, it looked like he was on something. But again, this is not, I don't want to just like, I don't like assumptions. He could have just been really excited. But he basically went on live and was like, yeah, I just talked to management and it sounds like I'm not going to get cut, blah, blah, blah. But it was a lot of excitement on top of an accent. People in the comments thought he was like on Percocets. Like that's what the comments were saying. So it was just a lot going on. And I just think that there needs to be a more streamlined way to help them realize that you just don't need to tell everyone everything on social media. I get it. He's Gen Z. So like, now I feel like an old head where it's like, you don't have to put everything on the internet. Some conversations that you have, I get it. He was excited, but he's just a little too active online. And as you know, the entire roster, I just feel like they have their all own personal issues at this point.
That's for sure.
A lot going on in the offseason.
I'm just glad my boy T. Rose getting paid.
We're happy for him. We are very happy. Terry Rozier.
My boy T. Rose.
Yeah,
get that check, boy.
That's an interesting team. But yeah, I said before, the Celtics, this is the year if they're going to do it. I mean, it's there for them. I don't see another team in the East that's as good. I say with Philadelphia having their issues, Milwaukee. We don't know what's going to happen with them. Is age going to start kicking in? So we'll see. But I think it's going to be an exciting season. And I think over the next couple of weeks, they'll do the kind of folks will start reporting to Boston and they'll start playing a little bit together and start getting some runs in, and guys will start showing up from vacations and
which it sounds like they've been doing already, which is cool.
Yeah, those pictures of Horford working out already. Is back in, working out in Boston. And obviously we all know the Tatum and Pierce workouts, and Jalen's been working out doing so. I mean, if there's a year, this is it. First full year for Missoula in terms of having, it should be interesting. But
got a pocket full of timeouts. He's good.
But that's
I'm sorry, Gary. I didn't mean to talk about your boy like that. My bad. I apologize.
You ain't say nothing but a word. I'm good with Joe. Me and Joe are good. It should be a good. We'll get a golf to a fresh start, and we'll see if there's any changes to his philosophy, timeouts, 3-point philosophy. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see the impact that Charles Lee and Sam Cassell will have on him. I think that'll be interesting to watch.
Well said, Gary. Well said. Election 24, Gary Washburn.
That's my president.
Mr. Politician.
Well, as always, we appreciate y'all for sticking with the shenanigans, listening to the podcast, supporting, sharing. If you enjoyed this episode and you haven't shared the podcast with a Celtics fan yet, feel free to do so. But until next week, I'm Kwani Lunis, Sherrod Blakely, Gary Washburn. This is the A-List Podcast, and thank you for listening.
New FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Ever wish you could navigate the betting field with the confidence of a pro? Enter OddsR. They're not a sports book, but they're the sports betting advisor you always needed. It's like having a playbook for smarter bets right in your pocket. I've been absolutely loving the experience, and I think you will too, especially since Celtics All Access listeners get a 30-day free trial. Elevate your game day and join the smart betting revolution. Go get it at oddsr.com/Celtics. That's oddsr.com/Celtics.